जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर डिवाइन ग्रेस प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि गुरुवंशी गौरंग ओम वासुदेव ओम नमः वासुदेवाय भगवते ओम नमः वासुदेवाय भगवते नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं तो जया मुदीरे आयेष्व भगवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोक गोपकुमाराय ओम ज्ञान जेन तस्मै जेन भूतले ददाति स्वाहा श्री गुरो शिव वैष्णवांश्च अग्रजातां साद्वैतं सहितं राधा कृष्ण श्री विशाखान्विताय कृष्ण पृष्ठान्त स्वामी सरस्वती देवे निर्विशेष नमो प्रेम प्रदायते नामने गौरवामि हरि परमात्मने नमः। श्री कृष्ण शिवासादि कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। Chapter 11 Qualities. Text number तव पाद तो भविता स्मरेता कर्म करो पादैकम् Anybody else want? हरे तव the servant of your shall I become? Shall I again? Mine. The Lord of my life. Gunan of your Lordship. Karma may perform. Kaya Prabhupada ki jai. Most Supreme again able to servants. their servant, think of you. My words always engage in purport. His own example that of the servant Bhartu of spiritual and is servant of the under his direction one once three qualities mind and words. The body should be engaged under the order of the mind should and one's words if one thus engaged service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Some acharyas, I think, also the Chatushloki verses gives some essence of Bhagavatam. Brahma, 4 verses of Bhagavatam. The Puran, Matsya Puran. Srimad Bhagavatam is that where the pastime is mentioned there like that. This is a place which this person such and such is that literature where Vrtrasur pastime is spoken. And what Vrtrasur is speaking now the 4 verses. This gives some and substance of which are sadhana. If one want to know Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam, those who are devotees of Srila Prabhupada has given, read it in the association, the purpose will find there. Because as society also devote the society means purpose will find only repetition deeper and deeper. Be a devotee. Association of devotees only way to make advance. If one thinks advancement in devotion is insane. Mature from material activity. Without association, devoted, and it will not be of sincere people. Bhukti Mukti Spruha Anurakt. Their association. Association is to actually harm. It is happiness to Krishna. Everybody's consciousness is drawn to. So, thing required for that. Think about their own enjoyment, not the center. Service. One must become Dasanudasa. Representative of the Lord. In this world, so I am that. I am that means I am that supreme. Everybody should, and then devotional service is think that, and everybody should follow me. Service. What happy in their lives is who are in the mood of actually it will create. Follow me. In a material environment. That the principle is applicable. In the head of the family, wife, you can find those families. Children will come out of this family where they are exhibited. And the control is there in it is not out of really love, passion, try to control Krishna creation, love. To get anything, realizes Krishna's control. The basis of pure. Those who he likes to be and those who don't want. Illusion controls them. They are yes. So Krishna just arranges. Enjoy control. Those who want to control and karma. The Krishna. Then you perform yourself. Krishna runs the material world. Meaning of controlling. There is no happiness. I'm controlling, thinking I'm empty. Then who activities? Then he and then he pulls the world. Somebody that top. And it's difficult. That is the question. I think that I am not. There is a shifts to follow. Everything in spiritual world is, and one who is not for rectification. Everyone is. Krishna is also same mood. He wants to serve his devotees. Those who are his, Krishna want to serve. So that is difficult to understand who is a master. Tattva. I will become servant of his devotees. Spiritual world. Everyone. So if we are here, Prabhupada was telling in the morning we were reading that in Vaikuntha there is no anxiety. That creates anxiety for others. Where one is anxiety for others. Everybody is in the material world. One may be sometimes there is where animals are grown, so they are feeding them. But the person who is doing about how he can them for his own enjoyment. The whole mood is either by force, forcibly taking the milk or flesh, whatever will help me to enjoy. So that's why the animal cannot be in peace in such a position, because that's the whole consciousness. Everything is made with that consciousness. You may be feeding nice grass, nourish the body, giving all the But the whole mood is that consciousness is exploitation. It's not a service. And that's what people get fascinated in this particular. There is so much of facility, enjoyment, much honor given. But one who has vision, he can see what is the consciousness behind all these things. Nobody wants to see this. Consciousness is to exploit. One who is after facilities, temporary facilities, temporary enjoyment. Oh, right, getting good grass here. I'm getting nice water here. So let me just enjoy. And the same mood carry. When he is put in that position, the whole system is made in such a way that you also act the same way. Without acting such a way, you cannot go on. So when you are in that position, you also act as an agent to do the same thing. And if you try to do that, the whole system gets disturbed. So therefore, a devotee doesn't want to disturb people, but the whole consciousness, material consciousness, by the presence of a devotee in this. Like Prahlad, he shook the whole system of Hiranyakashipu. He didn't want to do it. He just Krishna conscious. He just want to serve. No any tendency to exploit. Living entity wants to become happy. It is not to control. It is not to enjoy. If you serve, controllership happens. Well, required controllership is what king is required. Can be a leader, one who wants to serve. He doesn't want positions. I saw many times mentioning this. Once he was Radhanath Maharaj. They were just after lunch discussing, and Maharaj was just talking to him. He said, I never wanted to become a GPC. I just wanted to be in that place where I was. But somehow or other, I have been in this position, which I don't like. I never liked it to be like this. I just wanted to serve. And then Bhaktacharya Maharaj told that we want a leader who are like this, who never they are person to lead. Those who want to take positions and they think that through that position I can control things, I can get my things done. They bound to fight people. Those who are aspiring to serve. Jayanantu, I was looking something else, but one devotee saying, Jayananda taught me to drive. I spent some time with as his assistant drive while he was doing spiritual sky around the whole Bay Area, South Bay, and I would drive him around. I hadn't driver's license before I joined, but he put seat of our bug and said we have to be in San Francisco in 20. This is how you ship. Okay. It was the first time I ever drove. I never drove car before. We were driving over the Bay Beach bridge. He was saying, "You are doing great. Over in the right lane." Okay. Make a right hand turn at the okay, turn here, turn right. I always had the feeling that I was fully warm, giving personal. Traveling throughout the Bay, selling spiritual sky products, and trying to manage a temple simultaneously to an incompatible situation. At this point, Jayananda stepped from his presidency, requested to once again take up the case of Srila Prabhupada. He commented, "I don't like to sit in the office and hear all these problems. Get married with this boy. This and this guy wants to bloop. He is not at home." Kind of atmosphere. Neither does he like giving orders to devotees. Servant. For Jayananda, being in charge is a disturbance to his service. Just as a good pujari performs his service on the altar in such a way that he doesn't any attention to himself, allows focus to remain on. In the same way, the needful for the Berkeley temple to satisfy the Lord and without any flair and attention to his own needs. This is Jayananda's management. He just wants to do as much service as he can. He feels he can serve again. He prepares to work under the authorities so that he can truly be servant of the soul. This is Jayananda. Somebody has a nature, yes, he has to can take up the positions. He should be servant of servant. It's not. In fact, he said he got married. Why he got married? Very interesting.
Got married.
After Rath Yatra, marries Trayodasi, and they move. The trust account he has inherited from his aunt has almost $7 lakh in it, and is meant to provide a monthly income from the time till his death. After his death, born children will inherit the trust. If he doesn't have child, the trust will another branch of the family out of. In order to engage the income of the trust in the service of the Lord Chaitanya, Jayananda decides to get the risk of getting entangled with his wife and children. So his only purpose of marriage was to get that money, $7 lakh. So one devotee is Mrs. Kaur, talking about his wedding. I always thought it was something arranged. Or Jim knew that if he got married, he would get some pretty nice checks from his parents and from his aunt. He brought her east. They stayed with us Rocky River and they would fly on down Dayton to see my aunt. It was just one of things she didn't like. Definitely not. He phoned and wrote quite a bit. See him that often. More by our going to California couple times a year. We went. He had his own apartment, so many places, but he would always have his own place, and we would go and see him there. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, actually, the way he dedicated his that his photograph in the Rath cart with the Rath Yatra. He is a pioneer of Rath Yatra and brought so many devotees to Krishna consciousness. He gave the whole lifetime earning to Srila Prabhupada. He had earned before. He was coming from a very good family. And when he was departing, how he was Krishna conscious. Because he was always in the servant of the servant. So it is not so easy. It is a big ego. Material world, everybody is coming in this world. The property, what is given to him is a false ego, ahankar. He assumes ahankar. Lord Shiva avoids him. And that's how the material existence begins from that. Ahankar is a knot between the spirit. And from ahankara, the whole material existence of illusion. I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, I am the controller. All these false identities Maya has created. With the I am the Lord. So this ahankar has to be melted into true ahankar. I am a servant. False ego has to be turned into the right ego. The original consciousness of the living entity is perverted into this world. Instead of thinking I am servant, I think I am master. Whenever the reality is coming in our lives, usually they are a blow on our false egos. Material world attacks the false ego. Anybody who wants to make advancement is attacked. But if you become humble, always serve. This question is asked. Then Krishna will reveal how to serving in a given situation, serving Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna more, and acting in the mood of servant of the servant to please Krishna. Then one can go through all the situations in this world. I am the controller. Then one has to battle with this material world. So many things. the these are important possessions what we have. But because we are entangled in this world, possessions also, we don't even realize that this body is also our possession. Srila Prabhupada stated these are three properties. One's three properties. So when we actually start living simple life, then we can see, we'll be able to see ourselves separate from this material body. That realization is required. This body doesn't belong to me. That is called Atma Sakshatkara. And with this body, one is gathering so many of this world, and one gets entangled into those. Therefore, when you start saying no to the demands of the body, by actually engaging in Krishna's service, that is possible. The demands of the body are opposed, unnecessary demands. One can see that actually this body is the mind. My mind is my enemy in a conditioned state. Then one will be able to see himself slowly, I am different from this body. Otherwise we think that I am hungry, I am sleepy, I am this, I am that. It's not I am, the body. Body is hungry. Body is tired. But we feel I am like that now. And then when those things are not given, we get disturbed. And angry, we become envious of us, like that. The demands of the body and mind are not fulfilled, one becomes angry. Therefore, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udhita Vegam. These are Vegas of the body. And Dhira means one who is tolerant these Vegas. Etan Vegano Visheta Dhira. So such a person can actually make disciples all over the world. First look of Deshamrita. But how to control these urges? Everything in Krishna's service. These urges, the yogis and jnanis, they are controlled by mechanical ways. But actual control is when Krishna has given me these properties, let me engage in his service. It is Krishna's property. These three properties are body, mind and words. So mind should be engaged to remember Krishna incessantly. So therefore one should be absorbed so much that in Krishna's pastimes, so the devotees, that we always remember them. Our mind should be thinking about devotees, thinking about Krishna. Not think about people of this world much. So then only mind will become free from disturbances. And the words are improperly utilized, that disturbs our mind. When we are doing prajalpa, gossips, that contaminates the mind. Something what is in our hand is to some degree is body. At least body can be utilized always in Krishna's service. Then subtler than body is words. Subtler than word is the mind. So if one is careful about body is used in Krishna's service. Because inputs of the bodies ultimately affect the mind. So all the things, whatever activity I am doing, one should question, is this activity going to help me to become Krishna conscious? That is the intelligence is given for that. How this activity will help me to become more Krishna conscious? To take up activity or not. Generally in this world, people think how this activity will give me sense gratification more. What will I get out of it? When devotee is Krishna conscious, that's how he decides. And because we don't have that intelligence, therefore spiritual master is required. Spiritual guide is required till the time we become mature in spiritual life. Then Krishna within the heart also then gives the right inspiration. Because the devotee always think that Vaishnavas are required in order to help or whatever I do. Mahaprabhu himself would ask also devotees. He would consult his own devotees. Whatever activities he would do. So he wanted to go to South India. He was going to Sarvam Bhattacharya, he was going to Ramandra and taking permissions. Can I go? Wanted to go to Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami told him, no, it's not good. So they are his disciples in one sense. Out of parental affection, they said that it's not proper to go. So that's the mood. The mood of devotees is to always see the benefit of other devotees. And with this, one is always trying to serve. How this, my speech, my actions will be beneficial for the devotees to make progress in spiritual life and to actually give them happiness. Instead of satisfying my senses, we always think of how to satisfy Krishna's senses. Any questions?
How do you understand God with
Hmm?
Spiritual life to be nature and devotion service and Krishna will lead from now in nature.
Never understands I'm mature. One is always in the mood to always. But we can see that coming from his mouth, from his heart, will also be iterated. Who is Krishna's devotee. He also will find in the books, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. These are the criteria. The devotee may get inspiration like Ambarish Maharaj got understanding that his fast can be broken like this. But he comes, whether I can do this like this. Devotee never thinks that I am independent that way. But when he is in pure heart, Krishna from within, and he can see clear-cut indications from coming from within the other Vaishnavas of the same things. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And one has to be sincere. What are my intentions behind doing this thing? That sincerity is required. As we practice spiritual life, we will find some indications coming from within the heart. But the forces of mind are so strong and ego, we just want to justify those actions oftentimes. So therefore, a sincere devotee finds battle from within. For him, that outside battle is not so important as my internal battle is. When internal battle is over, there is no outside battle. Because internal battle is over, you can live anywhere. Anybody is disturbing you also, you will find another way to continue serving. So that's why the Antarmukha Bhakta, introspective, he sees that any disturbance coming from outside, Bhakti Thakur said that look within, amend yourself. No one can harm you. So till the time one reaches to that stage, such a person has no complaints in this world. He has no complaints about anybody. One who is internally working. Internal vision. But of course, to do that, one needs solid faith in some Vaishnavas, faith in Krishna, Guru, and with the prayers, the shelter. Whenever there is disturbance, he takes shelter from the Vaishnavas, and they help him to actually help him to the things in a proper perspective. Time person is coming to that stage of as a Vaishnava or Brahmana, then external protections are required him also. King is supposed to protect the people from any kinds of injuries for their bodies and for their spiritual life in a gross way. So then people are supposed to be under the king for these protections. Person becomes a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. Anything, he understands the Supreme Lord is there to protect all situation. He can just pass through the. He can see the Krishna's. Till the time you see the Krishna's control, different controls. And in those controls, if we have our own enjoying agendas, then it's a give and take. So different people in this world, depending on how our consciousness is. And the disturbances, as you are making progress in your consciousness, you will find disturbances in this world. When you are serving people in this world who are not having the consciousness and you want to make progress, you will find disturbance. But in those disturbances, what you do is to take through chanting the holy name, through service, being humble. Who is inflated in that situation, then usually people want to take positions. That's not how I can serve. And that's what you'll find. A revolution, a king, then other person just want to remove him and become there. And he usually does the same things in a different way. Revolutions in this world, communism goes away and somebody else comes. This guy is communism. First is escape from this world. Various kinds of controls on us, shelters. Anybody is holding positions in this, but we don't follow their manners and we don't have any in the thing. That's why when more you become detached from the controls of this world, more you are attached something material, you'll be controlled in this. People who possess those things. So detachment means attachment to Krishna. Krishna means attachment to serving him, pleasing him. So if one develops that attitude, service, in this world actually speaking. Only problem is that he doesn't want to be in this world of all duplicity, world of egoism, world of exploitation. He is not interested. He becomes indifferent if he has to continue in this world, or he is not interested to be in this world. He wants association of good people, or pure-hearted. That's a spiritual world. And if there is a mission of the Lord here, he may stay back here in this world for executing the mission. If there is no mission, like Krishna comes here for some time, and when he finds that people, whatever he wanted to deliver, they are delivered now, these people are not going to, then he leaves. Only those people who really want Krishna here, Krishna stays back for them. He doesn't want to be for just for the sake of being here. So for Krishna, actually devotees have to beg, my Lord, please come. Then Krishna appears also. He just appears to on the call of devotees. Similarly, also, when there is some mission here, some hopeful candidate, those who can come back to with him, he may stay back for some time. And when he finds that his mission is over, then he doesn't want to just to get some position and to get some fame of this world. What is the use of all these things? So that is retirement. He has purpose to serve. Purpose to transform the hearts of the people. And if there are candidates and Krishna wants him to be there, he may be in this world. Otherwise, he wants to go back to spiritual world. That's home, back to Godhead. He is longing to see Krishna, be with Krishna. Any other questions? A devotee has no other desire than to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this life and in the next life. If one is thus engaged in this loving service of the Lord, one's life is successful. What is the loving service? The body should be engaged in physical activity under the order of the Master. Mind should be engaged in incessantly thinking about Krishna. And the purpose of our sadhana is this, to get this consciousness. And the words should be engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord. If our words are always thinking about, always directed to glorify Lord, the activities also are service of the Lord, physical activity. The physical, mental and verbal, all three activities, more and more they become Krishna conscious, Krishna centered. And you say, how it's possible? 24 hours. For 24 hours our activities are going material ways, people's activities. So that's, for pure devotees, 24 hours he is either thinking about Krishna, either he is speaking about Krishna, or he is acting for Krishna. In a sadhaka stage, one starts feeling, oh, now I have to waste my time for this, my body. I have to waste time for my... We can see that it's a waste of time. But of course, necessary waste in the conditioned state. But because he is 24 hours he wants to engage in Krishna service. His activities may remain the same externally. Therefore, in the beginning times, we do direct Krishna conscious activities where Krishna is served. And as we make more advancement, the devotee will be doing some apparently some other activities also, but the whole consciousness is